Hey guys, Miss Jardine again. All right, so we're moving on today to cross products, which we've worked on, but this time we're going to use cross products to calculate metric and customary conversions. So metric being millimeters, centimeters, meters, kilometers, etc., and customary being inches, feet, miles, gallons, cups, etc. All right, so how do we convert from one unit to the other? Write and solve a proportion to complete each statement. Very important directions. Round to the nearest hundredth if necessary. All right, so the first question is 7.5 inches is equal to about, notice how that equal is aren't straight lines, that means about, how many centimeters? So on your reference sheet, in the very top middle column, it says 1 inch is to 2 and 54 centimeters. So your rate from your reference sheet is always going to go on the left side of your proportion. What you're converting to is going to go on the right side. So we're trying to figure out how many centimeters 7.5 inches equals. We're going to solve that by using cross products. All right, so we know how to do cross products. We're going to multiply 1 times x. 1 times x is x. And we're going to multiply 2 and 54 times 7 5/10. So if you have your calculator out, we're going to do 2.54 times 7.5. Your calculator should say 19 and 5/100. Remember, the direction said round to the nearest hundredth if necessary. The 5 is in the hundredths place, so we don't have to round. So that solution, actually I need to change that. So 7.5 inches is about 19 and 5/100 centimeters. Make sure to label with your unit. All right, let's try another one. So 100 grams is about how many ounces? So grams is a metric unit of measurement. Ounces is a customary unit of measurement. So right down here, as you can see, I went to my reference sheet and I put my conversion from ounces to grams on the left side of my proportion. I put what I'm converting to on the right side. So we're going to do cross products. First, we're going to multiply 28 and 3/10 times x. That's 28 and 3/10 x equals 100 times 1 is 100. So now we have our one-step equation. So we're going to divide the left by 28 and 3/10. Sorry, I'm trying to make my decimal big there. And we're going to divide the right by 28 and 3/10. If you go to your calculator, so this is going to cross cancel. If you go to your calculator and solve 100 divided by 28.3, your calculator is going to say 3.533. And we can stop there because we have to round to the nearest hundredth. So if I look in the thousands place, we see a 3. So that rounding to the nearest hundredth is going to stay a 3. So I'm going to go back up here and write my answer in the blank. So 100 grams is about 3 and 53/100 ounces. All right, converting from meters to feet. 4 meters equals how many feet? Look at your reference sheet. On your reference sheet, it says that 1 foot, so I'm in the middle column where it says U.S. customary to metric. So we're looking at 1 foot is about 3/10 of a meter. So the rate always goes on the left. What you're converting to always goes on the right. Notice that feet are on the top on the left, so feet have to go on the top on the right. I don't know how many feet, so that's my X number of feet. What I do know from the original problem is that I'm converting 4 meters. Since meters is on the bottom, on the left side of my proportion, meters has to go on the bottom on the right side of my proportion. All right, now that we have our proportion, 1 foot is to 3/10 of a meter, as how many feet are to 4 meters. So multiply your cross products. 3/10 times x is 0 and 3/10 x. 1 times 4 is 4. So 3/10 times what is about 4? So we're going to divide the left by 3/10 and the right by 3/10. Everything on the left is going to cancel. Go to your handy dandy calculator. We're going to do 4 divided by 0.3. Your calculator should say 13.3 repeating. So we're going to put that repeating bar over that 3. I'm going to go back up to my line here where it was asking how many feet. And I'm going to write in 13 and 3/10 repeating. Give you guys a minute to catch up on that one. Quick review from yesterday. How do we solve for x? Cross products. Multiply 3 times x. Multiply 4 times 11. Draw your mirror. Divide both sides by 3. Remember, if you're going to have a remainder, you have to show me your math. We are not using decimals. We're using fractions and mixed numbers only. So 3 goes into 4 once. Subtract. If your remainder is 2, that's going to become the numerator in your fraction. So x equals 14 and 2/3 with a box. One and 5/10 to 6 equals y to 10. 6 times y. 1 and 5/10 times 10. So when you multiply a decimal by 10, if there's 1 0, bloop, you're going to move that decimal 1 place to the right. So 6 times what equals 15? Draw your mirror. Divide the left by 6. Divide the right by 6. This is going to have a remainder. So show me your math over here to the side. It's real easy to make a silly error when you're trying to do these in your head if there's going to be a remainder. All right, so 2 and 3/6 reduces to 2.5. So y equals 2.5. Okay, these down here are going to look a little bit different. So what if this happens? You're still going to do cross products. We all know how to do this. Take a deep breath. We know what's going on here. We know that 2x times 8 is 16x. And we know that 5 times 9 is 45. If you see something unfamiliar, just go back to the basics. Go back to what you know and go one step at a time. Draw your mirror. Divide the left by 16. Divide the right by 16. This is going to have a remainder. So come up here and show me 45 divided by 16. We've got a remainder of 13. So the remainder becomes the numerator in your fraction. So x equals 2 and 13/16. Okay, last one. All right. So for this one, when we do cross products, we're going to multiply 2 times d minus 2. So I'm going to set this up like the distributive property. 2 times d minus 2 equals 5 times 7, which we know is 35. So now we're going to distribute 2 times d, and 2 times negative 2 is negative 4. So 2 times what minus 4 equals 35. Now we're ready to solve. Draw your mirror. We're going to undo the subtraction first. So I'm going to add 4 to both sides. Your 4s are going to cancel on the left. So 2 times what equals 39? Divide by 2. Divide by 2. So 39 is an odd number. We're going to have a remainder. You have to show me your math if you're going to have a remainder. Real easy to make a silly error in your head if you're trying to do these mentally. So that would be 19 1/2. All righty. Email me if you need help. Have a good day.